Hey there, fellow coders. In today's episode of CodeMaster Quest, we have a number mystery to solve. So let's grab your coding gear and let's get going. Now let's review the problem statement on LeetCode. Given an array of integers nums and an integer like target, we should return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to target. You may assume that each input would have exactly one solution and you may not use the same element twice. And at the end, you can return the answer in any order, right? So let's review the example number 1. If we get an input like this one, 2, 7, 11, and 15, and target would be 9, then we should return array of 0 and 1 because the values at this index in the input array is 2 and 7, and the sum of 2 and 7 is 9, which is the target value, right? So let's switch back to the Visual Studio Code and try to implement the solution for this problem. As a first job, let's define the function signature for this problem. Define toSum. Then we should define the inputs for this function, which is going to be an array of integer, nums, and then the target. And the return type for this function is going to be an array of integer again. Now let's define a dictionary to store the index for each value in the input array. So let's say var number indices, going to be an empty dictionary from type of integer and integer, and then let's make a for loop over the elements inside the array. So let's say for index and num in nums enumerated. Then I want to check whether we have the complement value for this number inside the dictionary, and if we have the complement of this value inside the dictionary, then we can return the indexes. Otherwise, we can add this element inside the dictionary. So let's say if let complement index is going to be number indices for target minus num. If we have this index, then we should return the complement index and index. Otherwise, we are going to add this number and the index for that to the dictionary. So let's say number indices for num is going to be index, right? And at the end, if we didn't find anything during the for loop, we should return empty array. Return empty array. But to make sure about our implementation, let me bring the example from LeetCode. So let's come back to the Visual Studio Code and paste it just right here. Now I want to call my function. So let's say print toSum for this input, right? And the target 9. Now let me run my Swift file. We expect to have 0 and 1 as a result of this function, 0 and 1, correct? So as the last job, let's submit our solution to LeetCode. Change to the browser and paste our solution here. Perfect. This is the solution for this question. Thank you, everyone.